Hi everyone, something a little bit different today. Thought it was about time I started to put some of my antique bits and pieces up, and today I might have shown this previously, I'm not sure, but we'll go into a little bit of depth into this so that the workings of it are known, how to set it up, information about the make of it, so that if it's handed on to someone else, which is likely to be, they will know by having a look at my little video now of how it all works. So here goes. We start off with a barograph. A barograph is an instrument which records barometric pressure, or air pressure if you like, over a period of 1 week. It's recorded on a graph like so. You've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so forth, and it goes on for a whole week. This drum, as it's called, slowly turns around, and obviously each day is the length it would turn around in a day. That sounds Irish, but you know what I mean. My English may not be all that good. Anyhow, that is what we have on there. It's fixed on by a clip. It's not even stuck on, there's a little clip that goes over. Now this part would fit over and we put that on top of the drive, and I'll show you what this is. Take it off again. This part is a clock movement. It's ticking but very softly. Whether the camera will pick the ticks up, I don't know. You've obviously got a slow and fast adjuster there to get the adjustment spot on, so you don't end up with it going too fast or too slow, and that adjustment's done on that gentle screw adjustment there. But be careful when you do adjust this. Now I'm put on the drum. As I'm doing this as a general interest type video, I also got a reason, because I want to show exactly how we set it all up. Now we put the drum part on. We've got a fixing nut, which go on like so. I must admit I don't quite know what that is for, or it might be because I put it on the wrong way around. I would have thought that drum has to be kept a little bit tight so it doesn't shake and give the wrong time. Yeah, this is the correct way around. The little spring arrangements, the pressure pads, obviously keep this not tight, but it's not going to shake an alter. But as the clock goes round, that would turn around, so there's no problem there. Anyhow, the winder, or the key, goes on the top. And remember, this is a left-hand thread. it means it goes round the opposite way. Normally you'd what am I telling you wrong? No, it's a normal thread, sorry. I get my lefts and rights mixed up. It's all to do with my number blindness. Anyhow, not to worry. It's a normal thread. You unscrew it that way, so and tighten it up that way. And by tightening it up also operates the wind up mechanism. Don't overwind it. A movement like this to repair would probably cost quite a lot of money. So that's dealt with the drum. On the drum you've got a pointer. I can lean this over, gently put that on there. You've got a pointer which you can make it touch onto the paper graph by undoing that or just moving that across. It lifts it off. You see what I mean? It lifts it off. Normally you leave it lifted off while you're messing about and talking with it, and such as applying ink to the pen or the nib. That's that part there. You would apply a little bit of ink in there, not too much, and that would last you the week or perhaps more, and you'd get a trace. Now I'll show you the rest of the innards. The bellows that you're looking at is a pass-in and chamber which is evacuated, means it's got nothing in it. It's kept apart because if it's a vacuum it's going to close down. So you want to keep it pressurized that way so that it opens up, and then you measure any changes that the weather can act on the evacuated chambers. This one looks like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 chambers there. Whether they're all connected together I don't know. They look to me like, well, I can't tell. They're either all joined together as a complete vacuum or they're done individually, possibly all in one. And you've got at the top there a spring, as I said, that keeps this under spring tension to keep them pulled apart. It's only when they're pulled apart they will act on air pressure, and as the air pressure changes you obviously get slight movement. And looking inside, if I can show you it, you've got another spring in there. It looks like a hairspring, you can see it in there, and that causes the arm with the pen on the end of it to either move up or down. As it goes up, the pressure increases. As it goes down, the pressure decreases. Now, these have to be set. If, like I live here, which is virtually sea level, you would check what the weather forecast was for your area. It'd probably be in inches or millimetres, and if they said at the moment it's 30 inches, you would then turn this knob at the top there, that'll turn round, and you'd adjust this pointer to rest on 30 inches. I'm sticking to the English system because that's what I was brought up with. 30 inches, and that would give you an idea, or that would tell you what the pressure was at that area. If someone else lives in an area which is above sea level, then they would have to do exactly the same thing, find out what the pressure is at a certain time in their area, and then adjust that knurled screw there and get it pointing to whatever it is. If it's 30, then you place it on 30, because it does vary with height. If you think of an altimeter, which is basically the same design, that indicates height and that in a plane, and it works on very much similar idea. It's the Vidi principle. It's Vidi whose principle is used in most non-liquid barometers. This is simply a barometer, but a recording barometer, hence the name Barograph. Anyhow, I think I've covered that. That is the evacuated chamber. Inside you've got a name, which I'll try and show you. It might be upside down when I show it to you. It's going to be a bit tricky because it's under that arm. I will read it out to you. It's Jules Ricard, Paris. This instrument was made in France. You've got various numbers, type numbers and everything else on there. Type NG as a number, which I'm having difficulty to see. Turn it over a little bit more, you get a clearer view of the hairspring, and that's the spring that keeps the pointer, if you like, in tension, so it, at that spot it would remain. It gets a slight, I can show you, see, I move up and down, it goes back to the same spot, and that's under the control of that hairspring, which will not affect the main evacuated chamber. That would still work it. Anyhow, we've got a nice carrying handle. This is quite a nice instrument actually. It's probably not as valuable as the ones that are in a wooden box with glasses round the outside, the English type. This one, as I said, is a French variety. The English ones were a bit more expensive. I have got one, but that's going to remain with me for a bit longer. I don't mind this one going to my mate, but the other one I'm holding on for a moment. And it's got sentimental values. I found the other one in a shop when I was a kid. It was very, very cheap because the clockwork mechanism wasn't working, which was quite easily cleared. So I did get that very cheap, and that was one of my first antiques I've ever bought. So I'm obviously I shall keep hold of that till perhaps a later date. Anyhow, this is the one we're looking at now. I'm going to put the cover on. Remember, these are best covered. I've got to work out how you do this now. Oh, I can't blame this onto my number blindness. I'm making a bit of a pig's ear of that. Anyhow, I'm going to leave that because I'm going to need two hands. This is the outer casing. You've got your name on there, Jules Richard, which is still intact. The case is in good order. I'm going to put the phone, the camera down while I put it on. I want to show you what it's like with the thing on. I've got to have both hands free. So you hear me talking. Oh, so much easier. Two hands, so much easier. and you've got a safety clip there, which and it's almost on right. The cover is a bit tricky, but the main weight of this is taken when you lift it up is by the main carrying handle, so you're not lifting it up by the actual case or the housing round it. There is a clip there which should press across. Oh, there we are. That's how it goes. That clips in. It's just a case of fitting it in. These things tend to be over tightened or over tight. But there's the item, and this item is earmarked to go back to France. Any questions, please ask. I'll try and get back to you on this. I know I've probably been a bit long-winded, but I do like to explain things. Probably my inquisitive nature. Or am I just bloody nosy? I don't know. Anyhow, thanks again for watching. Recapping on the name, Jules Richard. Made in France. So one of these days I'll put my wooden one up on to be shown on YouTube. It's making a change from me showing lamps or plants. It's made a change. Anyhow, once again, thanks for watching. Any questions, please ask, and I'll certainly get back to you. Thank you again. Thank you.